boys and girls, and welcome to Bro Painting Gaming. I'm Andy.
I'm Will.
And if you're wondering why we're in the middle of some place that we haven't been before, it is because, for the first time on our channel, we decided to talk about political things, and it quickly went to areas that we would like not to be publicized. So, we are back on the third episode of Sekiro. It's third, right?
Mm-hmm. Third episode.
And this guy... Did a rock just hit me in my forehead? Perhaps I shall walk. What is that shining in the moonlight? Is it a katana? Oh, it is through my jugular. Oh, this is a sad day. Man.
It's so hard being a foot soldier in this army.
So what's with these guys? Are they supposed to be like
Huns
or something? Why do they not?
Okay.
They're like not dressed.
Well, that was a common thing for like foot soldiers or like bandits in an army. It was like for freedom of movement. And
For the Scottish, maybe.
no, I'm
These
just
guys are
saying
just
that is a historically
my diaper
accurate.
will protect me.
It's a loincloth, Andrew.
My diaper will protect me.
Loincloth. Yeet. Okay, hop over here. Don't get spotted by people.
Yeah, what's with the vignette? Is that just like
What vignette? Oh,
Around the screen?
that means you're in stealth.
so? Why is it? Sometimes it's red. Does that mean you're just hurt or?
Yeah, the vignette around the screen if your hurt is red. Ugh, great. I don't want to fight these guys like this.
Just jump on top of buildings and take out the strongest guy, and then you get to fight the two weak guys.
Yeah, well, both of them are archers, I think.
Simple stealth mechanics,
And
bro.
they're both.
Have you ever even played Assassin's Creed?
I actually haven't played Assassin's Creed in like years.
Yeah, but you played it.
I have, but I haven't played it in like years.
It's
So long.
not recently, but a while back ago, I actually bought Assassin's Creed Black Flag because it was super cheap on the PlayStation Store. I gotta say, it's a pretty decent game. Mostly because I like pirates.
I've heard that the new one is really, really, really good.
Yeah, I've
but-
heard Odyssey is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was like one of the runners up for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's.
I'm
always a
glad that
plus.
they're shaking up the sort of the franchise by doing things that are what am I trying to say?
Something.
Before they were basically just doing the Call of Duty method. They were basically just trying to put out
As many
games
Creed
as they could
games.
because it was like it's a new year or it's a new half of this year. So we need stuff. If we don't have stuff, then what are people gonna play?
Yeah, exactly. And
Did
that
you
is
just call over people.
yeah. So now those people know that I'm over here.
They added that mechanic to Dark Souls 3 too, didn't they?
Certain enemies can do that. Yes.
Like certain of the little Reaper-looking guys
The
will hold
hollows,
up the
like the lamps and
the
stuff
lamps
like
and
that.
they'll like scream. Yeah.
You're a cleric beast, Andrew.
For some reason, I always confuse the Cleric Beast with that same bridge boss that's in Dark Souls 3.
The same bridge boss that's in Dark Souls.
It's not like the same boss. I'm just saying there is also a bridge boss in Dark Souls 3 where like he'll jump. There are like two towers on the opposite ends of the bridge. You can climb up those towers via ladders, and you can jump on top of him to get lots of damage.
Oh, no,
but-
that's in Dark Souls 1. That's
that
the
only one?
That's the Tauros demon.
Okay.
Or the
For
Taurus,
some reason,
Taurus
those
demon.
two bosses to me are very similar.
Come here, buddy. Come here. I have a surprise for you.
Which, by the way, I know the Cleric Demon, what is it?
The cleric beast.
I know the Cleric Beast is an optional boss, but as far as like bosses that you can fight early in the game go, that is a terrible setting for one.
Yeah, the whole.
Let's put you on a narrow strip of land where you can barely move.
Stab. You got stabbed.
Did I mention that the Cleric Beast also likes to do handsprings landing on top of you?
that is a very annoying move. I'm just gonna say that now. That is one of the more annoying parts of that fight. And the big sweepy attacks are also very.
Well, I mean that's just common boss
Yeah.
stuff. There's always some sort of big sweep.
No, but that's one of the things though is about the cleric beast. It's a weird. It has a weird pattern to its sweeps because like usually when you think of like big arm sweep attacks, you think like left arm, right arm, left arm, right arm. But it's like left arm, right arm again, then left arm, and then right arm again twice. It's like, what is going on? That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. It opens.
Well, I've been watching a lot of people, a lot of YouTube channels that I admire. I've been watching them play Dark Souls 1 Remastered and Dark Souls 3, and I'm not watching them play Bloodborne because I'm playing that game and I don't want it spoiled for me.
No spoilers. Oh, hello. How you doing? I missed. I don't know how I missed.
And, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. It's really interesting to the people who actually love those games and how they talk about fighting any enemy, not just bosses,
great.
but bosses included. Fighting any enemy is like you should just like go in with the mentality that you're gonna lose the first battle.
Well, it's more.
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is not trying to go and be like epic and yeah, I killed him, and I mean you can. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying what you really want to do is observe their attack pattern.
Yeah.
And figure out what they are gonna do and what you have to do to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
How do they not know where you are?
Because I'm stealthy.
He waved the torch. You just killed a dude.
Well, it's because
like pretty much within sight.
Well, with the last point they saw me was at the end of this pathway, so they don't know that I'm here. Because I ran off.
So weird, just like question out of that because I was talking about spoilers. What is the worst thing that's ever been spoiled for you, in your opinion?
The worst.
Don't say the spoiler.
Oh,
just say
probably,
like the series. Just like be like,
Like, does it? Are you talking about like games in general, or just like spoilers in general?
It doesn't have to be games. I just mean spoilers. Like
if we're
movie
talking
spoilers,
about
TV.
spoilers in general, it probably would have been the whole like. I mean, I didn't really know how it ended up happening. But like the whole everybody dies in the.
Well, I just said not to say the spoiler. I just said to say the franchise.
Dude, if you haven't seen it.
Seen what?
If you haven't seen, well, I mean, obviously now I can't say it, but because you're like, don't say it because.
Okay, you know what? Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear spoilers, skip like 10 minutes forward in the episode. 5 minutes. Go.
I was just gonna say.
You've been given fair warning.
Okay.
Go.
The spoiler I was talking about is the whole, like, everybody, like, half the people die in Infinity War. That's what I was talking about. If you haven't
Oh, you got spoiled on that?
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like, so many people were like, oh, yeah, this person dies. I'm like, what are you doing? That was
Why
what I was...
are you saying that to me?
That's when I was working back at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And it was, like, right before I ended up quitting because that was, like, the time around when the movie happened. And I was like... What do you do? Like, I'm on the clock. I want to go see this, like, after I clock out. What are you doing?
The same thing happened to me while I was working at Lowe's.
It was like...
Somebody that was in my department was just like, yeah, Infinity War, everybody dies. And
what did you expect me to say?
I don't know.
Because
you didn't say a thing. You just started saying the spoiler. So I was like, what are you doing? I just said not to do that. But if you were like... The biggest thing that got spoiled for me is Infinity War. That means that like the people that have seen Infinity War understand what you're talking about. But the people that haven't, everyone knows that.
Well, if
you haven't seen Infinity War, you're living under a rock.
Yeah, it's like serious. That's why I was like, I don't think it's a big deal if I spoil it or not. It's like I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it at this point. If you haven't, then
especially with that end game coming out in just a few weeks,
seriously,
bro.
Seriously.
You gotta get on that so that you can see what happens to Than. He's the main character of the whole series. We all just want to see him succeed.
Who? Tony Stark?
Oh, Will. It bugs me so much when you just don't listen.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I was
Thanos. I was making
Thanos?
a joke.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes, we all want Thanos to succeed.
Oh, jokes are so good when you have to explain them, man.
I'm sorry.
If you have never tried to explain a joke to someone, I urge you to try it now. It is the most soul-breaking experience you will ever have to go through. Not true, but still. Did he just run into something?
I don't know. I think he tripped on something. I'm like, what are you doing, life dude? Okay. You're dead.
Okay. For
Your
me.
phone's charged.
For me, what would I say? Okay. I don't know 100%. Like, I'm not gonna say spoilers. I'm just gonna say franchises. So, if you're back from the spoiler warning, then you're good.
Go further.
No, you're good now. I'm not gonna say spoilers. I'm just gonna say the franchises that got spoiled for me. I have not finished Naruto Shippuden, mostly because I got spoiled.
Oh, that was the worst one. I remember you telling me about this.
I was watching, and I'm not blaming anyone. Normally you would sort of carry a little bit of resentment towards whoever spoiled you, but it was my own fault. I was watching Ross and Barry of Game Grumps. I think it was actually on Steam Train that they played it. But they played...
Barry, how could you?
They played the Naruto/Boruto Ninja Storm game. Burrito. And they played the story mode, and some of the early cutscenes from the game were just like, here's how Shippuden ends. And I was like, oh my god! Well, that's cool. It's good to know those things.
Why would you do this to me?
But I think one of the other things... What was I going to say? More recently, again, I'm not going to say spoilers, and it wasn't as bad on this one, but like, I wanted to know more about the manga for Aelita Battle Angel, and so some of the reviewers that talked about the movie, I didn't get specific, like, this is what happens in the movie, but like, I knew a lot about the movie before I went to go see it. So it wasn't really a spoiler, but it was like, I kind of know what's going on. I feel like the threshold for disappointment is very low because I kind of know what's going to happen. Spoilers suck, man. First of all, if you get spoiled, we're sorry, but people that spoil movies, what is wrong with you?
It's like
we know that you do it on purpose.
You're like, you just want to see like all of the joy leave from somebody's eyes and just like see hatred seething in their soul. It's just like, why would you do that? You're just like absolutely. I don't even know.
I just want to like, it's classic for any time spoiler conversations happens, but I just want to just like list out a bunch of like spoilers that you should know by now. Like, Will probably doesn't know this one, so I'm going to spoil something for him right now.
Oh no, why would you do this?
Bruce Willis is dead throughout the whole movie Sixth Sense.
No, I already seen Sixth Sense.
You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen the entirety of Sixth Sense.
I didn't know that.
I see dead people.
Yeah, I honestly did not know that you've seen Sixth Sense because that's not really, like, your preferred movie genre.
No, that movie was actually really good. I actually really liked it.
You know who directed it, right? The killer of all movies. Think.
Michael Bay.
No, well, that's close. No, M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
You know, the guy who ruined Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'm sorry, okay.
Okay, let me just say real quick. Sixth Sense is a good movie. Unbreakable is a good movie. I haven't seen Mr. Glass, or whatever, and I haven't seen Split. But those are rumored to be good movies. But pretty much everything else that man has made is just like, why? Why are you so bad at this, man?
Yeah.
Especially Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you're a fan of that cartoon and you haven't seen the movie for some reason, go watch it right now.
Don't actually, though, because
No,
it's
go
awful.
watch it. Go watch it and you will just seethe with anger and hate for M. Night Shyamalan.
It's like
I'm not even gonna...
Here's the source material of what we have. This is it, right here. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna import this source material into like what is it? We're gonna import this source material into Blender, take the entire 3D model off, keep the skeleton, then put a new 3D model on.
That's a very weird way to
okay, yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, maybe not everyone will.
If you don't know what Blender is, it's a 3D
No,
animating
not that.
software.
I'm just saying like, what he's talking about is like saying that they basically said that they kept to the source material, but they gave it a completely different face so that you would never recognize the source material.
Here, well, I'm gonna quote Star-Lord here. I like your plan, but it sucks. So let me do the plan, so that way it might not suck.
Exactly.
It's
So
like, what were you doing?
another one of the bad example of that, and I don't think Will's seen either of the versions of the movie that I'm about to talk about, but Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't.
You have?
I haven't.
Haven't.
I haven't had the chance to watch it.
I will
I
not
know it's on
spoil
Apple
anything.
TV, but...
I will not spoil anything, but again, I don't want to get political or anything, but they whitewashed the heck out of that movie. They were just like, let's make all of the Asian people white, and then let's get rid of Asian, yeah, that's the right word I'm going for, Asian, like, culture and mentality, because a lot of the reason that people don't like Ghibli films, like, for instance, older people, like our parents and some other people, not specifically that we know, but if you know someone in your family that you thought would like, oh, I'd like them to see Spirited Away because I think they'll love it, and then you show them it and they're like, that was weird. Well, Asian mentality and culture is a lot different than ours. One of the main differences, specifically regarding Ghost in the Shell, is that in almost all Asian companies, the group is more important than a single individual. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And in America, we're taught that the individual is the most important thing over the group. And you may say, no, we're not. We're a free country and we love our citizens and stuff like that. But if that's the case, then tell me why from the time you were born, everyone has told you, if you work hard and do your best, you can accomplish anything. It's because they want you as an individual to feel like you're the important one. You can do whatever you want. This is a country of freedom. Therefore, your personal wishes are above, everyone else's. That's a weird way to say it. I guess I feel like I'm not making much sense. Will's not giving me any feedback.
I'm sorry. Well,
I know you're concentrated, but Ghost in the Shell is very much about that mentality. And I won't spoil anything.
What, the betterment of yourself in a...
No. The original is about
the group
becoming part of the group, or
becoming one.
And it's about individuality not being as important. And then the Ghost in the Shell movie that they made, which, by the way, looks fantastic. It looks real good, and they literally took stills from the animated movie and put them in the remake or the live action, however you want to say that, to make it feel like they were honoring the source material. But they basically changed the core story because the animation is about one becoming the mini, and the movie, the live action, is about being an individual and discovering yourself.
What the heck was that?
It's a From Software game.
He had to
reload.
But notice, there's no sticky physics with the ragdoll dead bodies.
No, I get that, but they still probably have it so that different sections of the map unload.
Yeah. Okay, I am going to.
It's just to make the game run smoother and so that they can have better graphical quality in the area that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what we're talking,
look at the fire, Andrew.
If you don't
look
know,
at it.
Stop. If you don't know what we're talking about, go play Bloodborne and get yourself to Old Yarnum. That's where I'm talking about.
Yes,
right? And then just face a direction and do a 180, and then all of the pots that you are looking at that are broken have to reload, and you can just hear them all hit the floor.
You can just hear like the collective symphony of just like broken pottery.
That happens every time you like do a full 180 turn.
Yep.
What is it? Seems
and I'm not hating on Bloodborne. I like that game. I'm just saying that it's something that we are not used to.
Take this.
Because for whatever reason,
Shinobi esoteric discs. Andrew?
Well, sometimes I just want to hit you in your little face.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that I don't know the game development behind it, but in most American games, we're not used to things like that because they're either... That's not even true, though.
Although, again...
Bethesda is one of the worst technical bug developers
It's very notorious for just, like, having just awful bugs
and
all the time.
even though I love their games, which I do, Skyrim is by far one of I think I'd put it at the number one. I think it is my favorite game. Fallout 4 is definitely up there. But Fallout 4 is awful. You can we have this little amazing reel of just from all kinds of games, just game glitches.
We'll probably just need to publish them in volumes so we can actually get some of them out.
I want to see how many we can fit in like a 30-minute chunk. The same length as an episode, and we won't publish it until we fill that slot. But we just over the years we've been saving these technical glitches in games or just funny things that happened. Like, Will, did you save that clip from one of the episodes where, or maybe you were streaming, where the wolf just jumped off the cliff, was just like suicidal?
I don't know if I saved that or not.
It doesn't matter. It happened.
Wait.
You saved something in one of your streams.
I might have.
It doesn't matter. We're not checking it now or anything. I'm just wondering. So yeah, we have a bunch of stuff like that. But I have one that is one of my personal favorites, which is I was looting a super mutant base in Fallout 4, and I walked from one room through a corridor into another room, and I heard a bunch of noises as I came into the new room. And when I was done looting that room and went back into the corridor, I discovered that those noises were coming from a cardboard box that was having a demonic seizure all over the corridor. It was just like...
So
and it was literally everywhere. So to make it funny, I started blasting it with a shotgun until it stopped. And that did not... It took a very long time for it to actually stop. Mm-hmm. And the reason it was doing that was because the character models of two cardboard boxes were spliced together.
They were stuck inside of each other.
Their physics were telling them that there's collision because these two things are hitting each other. But they weren't because they were stuck together. So they kept hitting themselves. Yeah. It's like, what am I trying to... It's like, if you've ever seen Drake and Josh, it's like the Clackers episode. Oh, they're the hottest toys in the Netherlands. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where he's just like, now, rapid clacking.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Oh, man.
So I take that back. From Software, you're doing yourself...
That was like fine. That funny why
are we all the way back here? Did you die?
No, I went back and respawned because I had to load the new prosthetics into my prosthetic arm so I could take out enemies easier.
Boo.
Hi, how are you?
He's like, oh, friend.
Look at his face though; it's nasty.
I don't really understand why From Software is a Japanese company and they made like their culture. I guess it's just because they're enemies.
What?
Like, all of the enemies are just hideous.
Well, I mean...
But, yeah. I say that, but, like, the Young Master's not hideous, and Wolf's not hideous, and the guy that saves Wolf, his mentor, isn't hideous, and... Not the guy that gives you the prosthetic, but the guy that's, like...
No, that guy is hideous.
Yeah, he is. But I'm just saying, like, so many people have just, like, disgusting faces in this, and it's just like, I guess that's why I asked if it was Edo period, because a lot of the Edo artwork, they like, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, I'm just saying a lot of the
Japanese artwork sucks.
No, a lot of the Edo artwork having to do with like samurai and stuff like that, they give them like weird faces. Does that make sense?
No, come on. Why would you do
Will's
this?
too distracted.
No, I know what you're saying, and it makes sense. Like, yeah, they always have like really like.
If you're unaware, they have like Edo artwork of samurais carrying their own testicles because of how much balls they have. Have you seen that?
Yeah, how well endowed they are. Well, that's also very characteristic of like artwork of like Tanuki and.
Oh, yeah. It has a cultural It has a cultural reason behind it. Why isn't it red?
Because I died.
No, why isn't the death thing red?
Because I died.
Loyal ones, take my blood and live again.
It's actually the first time I've lost all of my health in this playthrough so far. Good on me. Resurrect.
When did you get that?
No, that's in the game from the very beginning of it.
You get like one more chance before you actually die?
You actually get two, technically, depending upon how well you're doing. That's why I think that you'll like Sekiro a lot more because it's not just like, oh no, I'm dead, restart from everywhere.
No, I mean, like, I don't know how I feel about that mechanic, to be honest with you.
Well, that's sort of the whole...
Because here's the thing. So, I'm sure we talked about it in our Bloodborne episodes, but I stopped playing Bloodborne personally because I was very far in a certain area and I had upwards of 80,000 souls, which is a lot.
It was quite a bit.
Early game, that's quite a bit of souls. I don't even know how much is that, like, late game? Is that, like, nothing? Or
depending upon, like, when do you
or,
mean?
like, mid-game, like...
Well,
all I'm asking is, as far as, like, they're not even souls, they're blood echoes.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, Souls-like and stuff, like, Dark Souls games and Bloodborne, would you consider that to be a lot of souls?
That is
to
quite
lose.
that is quite a bit of souls, especially... Whoa, what was that? Bundled Jizo statue. I didn't get that before. Hang on, what is this?
I got killed by a giant boar, and then I went back to go get those, and the same boar just killed me. And I was like,
I
great.
thought you died on the way to the boar.
I don't remember. I was playing Bloodborne. We had, like, I don't know what we were doing. And Will was coaching me through most of my playthrough, and he had to go to bed, and I was like, I don't care if he's not here. I just want to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept playing and kept playing and kept playing and got through all of this area. What is that area?
That's the
where all the
Forbidden
people
Woods.
throw... No, what's the area with where all the guys throw Molotovs at you?
Through that little river of oil.
Yeah.
That's still in the Forbidden
Is
Woods.
it all still the same
Yeah,
area?
that's
Okay.
that whole area is the Forbidden Woods.
So yeah, I had started there. That's when Will got to bed, went to bed, and ended where the giant boars are in the snake area of the Forbidden Woods. And I was just so disappointed that I lost all those souls. But that being said, guess what I learned immediately?
What?
If you have some souls and you want to keep them, you should probably go back and spend them.
Yep.
You should not hoard them because guess what? You could lose them at any second, and if you're not able to get them back in your next playthrough, then they're gone permanently.
Yep.
So that taught me a lesson.
good
Whereas
sir.
I feel
Are
like
you a lizard
games
too?
now can be a little too hand-holdy with like,
Good sir,
we're going to start you in the exact same
like
spot.
a shinobi.
You realize that in all arcade games,
you
like
looking
anything
for
that was
something?
Just
ever
like
on the
back to level 1.
anything that was on Atari, if you like
So,
spent
eyes
your
peeled
maximum
out there, huh?
lives, like even in something as like
don't let
low
the
key
door
or like
hit you.
mellow as Mario,
Mm-hmm.
if you spent your maximum
the way,
lives,
it's
like
guess
back to
what?
World War I.
You are back to
Historic
the
pagoda
very
on
beginning,
top of some
not the
cliff.
last
It was
checkpoint,
a
the
fine
very
pagoda.
beginning of the game.
Really
Because
fine.
get good
I
scrub.
bet there's some
And
kind of treasure kept in
now
there.
games
Gotta
don't
be.
do that.
That's what I think, at least.
Mm-hmm.
There are some games now that are doing permadeath features,
Yeah.
which is I think is cool.
Okay, so hang on.
Did you?
Hey, good
By the
sir,
way,
I
one of
was
the
on my
games
way
that I
here.
think
I
we're going to
saw
be
a
playing
historic
is
pagoda on top
Outward.
of some cliff. It was
I'm
fine.
fairly certain
I
I'm
bet
buying
that's
that
right.
like soon. By the way, you need to respond to Mr. Dale.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anyway, we're playing Outward. Have you done any research on that game? I know you said you've seen it.
I've done a tiny bit. I know it's open world and it's more like a survival game.
It is. And that being said, so when you die, you cannot load a previous save. It is. No, hold on, listen. It is impossible. But when you respawn, you can. There's just a million things that can happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can wake up with a disease, and so the first thing you're going to have to do is cure that disease. You can have fortunate things happen to you, like a traveler found you on the side of the road and took you to the nearest town.
Mm-hmm.
There can be terrible things that happen to you, like bandits enslaved you and left you for dead after stealing all your stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, literally limitless things can happen, but the main selling point of that to me is that if you wake up and I'm making stuff up because I don't know if this stuff is in the game, but you die and you wake up and some bandit took like all your stuff, or like you got plague, or like
You got
something terrible happened and you're just like, oh, screw this. You cannot reload the game and be like, I don't want to deal with that.
I'm gonna
You
go
can-
back. Oh my gosh.
You can maybe delete your file and start a new one, but then you're starting from square one.
That terrified me.
Yeah, so that's the end of the episode. We're going to stop right here and jump to the next episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this playthrough of Sekiro, Shadows of the Twice Dying. Look at that. And we hope you'll join us on the next episode. I'm Andy.
I'm Will.
And you've been watching Bro Opinion Gaming. We'll see you next time. Bye!